In this video, I will explain to you how to perform risk reviews. This explanation I'm trying to work in here. I'm doing it on the asset risk module, but this exact same thing applies to the third-party risk or to the business risk. There's no different at all. Now, for me, it's going to be the easiest way for me to explain this, how this review works, is by creating a simple risk. We will call it test risk. The GRC contact, we will say that the CISO team, and the risk originator contact will be the finance team. I will put the next review date, so when we want to review this will be, we will review it at the end of October. On the analysis, I will just put some asset, put some treatment in here, and I think that's about it. I can save now, probably. No, I'm missing something. Oh, I need to classify my risk, that's true. I'm gonna classify it here, and gonna classify it here and here. Now, I just want you to focus on the following fields, please. The GRC contact, the originator contact, and the next review date. So this is the person that has an interest on the risk to be created. Remember the problem and solution approach. This person here is the department which is affected by this risk, and the person has to provide us feedback when we want to review that risk, and this will be the date when we want to review this risk next time in the future. Okay? Now, when I save this risk, you will see that by default, Eramba creates 2 reviews, and that's perfectly normal. The reason we have 2 reviews is because Eramba uses the reviews to understand what is the starting point and every change you made on that risk. When we look at the review record, you see now we're in the review tab. We have the name of the parent risk, the planned date, so when it was supposed to happen, the actual date when actually the review was completed. So if you see this is empty, it means that the review is incomplete. The reviewers and the description. You see that for the reviewers in here, we have the CISO. Now this comes from the parent risk. By default, the risk module has inherited the role of the GRC contact. If you see here, it has inherited whoever you put in here goes automatically into the reviews. You can change which role will inherit the reviews by going to settings and reviewers. And here you can change, you see the GRC contact is by default, but I could add both of them, or I could change them, or I could create a new role if I want, using custom fields like approver or something like that. By default, as you can see, whoever you put in the GRC contact will be by default inherit your reviews, okay? But that's a setting that you can change. Now, why we have 2 reviews? This is the starting point, and this will be the next review. You see, the next review is on the 31st of October. That's when we said that we wanted to do the next review. This review here is automatically completed for you, and the planned date and the actual date are set to today, because today is kind of the starting point of this risk. Every review record or anything in Eramba has comments and attachments, and we typically use them to sort of log the discussions that took place on that particular review. So if I will be creating this risk, most likely what I will do is at the end, after I created the risk, I will put something like this, or I will ask the finance team to log into Eramba and provide me their feedback, because in that way I start to build a trail, right? Who said what and when. So again, comments and attachments are extremely important to keep track of that audit trail. Now, when you have reviews like this, there's 2 typical scenarios. When you discussed a change on the risk because you're doing that review, let's say that you don't want to wait until the 31st of October to do that review, you want to do it now. What you basically need is 1 more row in here, because every row is a review. So you don't have to edit this row because it's in the future. What you can do is you can simply go to actions, add, and create a review record. Okay, so in this case I will say, well, for this risk we discovered that something was wrong, we want to change, and here you see the planned date, the actual date will set to today, we made a typo, and we set the reviewers, and that's about it. You see now what I have, I'm going to sort by planned date. I have my first review, my second review, and I still have my review in the future. Now this review in here, as you can see, I have a status here that's missing evidence because I'm supposed to write something here, but again, that's a customization that's been done on this system. Let's say that you get closer to the 31st of October and you want to do a review. You maybe set up some notifications that are triggering to let people know about this review. What you need to do is you don't have to create a new review record. All you have to do is to basically edit this row. So you go here, you go to edit. I'm going to say, well, actually we will perform the review today. We completed the review. And you see now you have an extra option, which is called this next review date. Eramba always needs to know when the next review will take place. Always. The idea is that we always try to help you to keep things updated. So I'm going to put a date in the future in 2025. So that will be next year. And what happens now when I save will be that Eramba will complete this review, the one for October, even though we are in July now. It doesn't matter. You can do it in advance if you want. But also we'll create a new review record, an incomplete review record for 2025, because that's when I said that I want to do the next review. And basically, this is the way we work with reviews. You simply add ad hoc reviews, or you complete review records directly from here. When you run out of completed review records, you will be asked to provide a date in the future when you want to complete the new review. So there's always an incomplete review in the future. See this one here on 2025. Let me see if I haven't forgot anything. So we discussed the roles, we discussed the attributes, so the planned date, the actual date, we discussed comments and attachments, we discussed the scenarios where we have an ad hoc review or we just have a planned review, and we deleting reviews. Now let's say that you don't want to complete reviews in Eramba. All you have to do is to delete the incomplete reviews. If you delete this review here, so if I delete this review, what will happen is that there will be no incomplete reviews in the future. So that means that Eramba will never bother you about incomplete reviews. So all you have to do, if you don't want to do reviews in Eramba, just click here and bulk delete all your reviews. So hopefully this explained to you how reviews works in risk reviews works in Eramba. Thank you. Have a good day.